Today I want to discuss something I've been reading constantly on social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and every other platform out there. The idea that the world of publishing is against writers. They're not. It may be a difficult thing to do, getting a book published, but the more you know about the process, the less likely you are to go crazy wondering why publishers aren't fighting with each other over your work. First and foremost, publishers are trying to sell books. Even if you have a great novel, if they don't think they can sell it, they're going to pass. If you have an agent and they're slow to respond to your agent, they're not intentionally ignoring your work in particular. There's just a process that you need to follow. So if you follow that process and you know that process, you'll better understand why things take as long as they do. It's not necessarily a bad thing if they're taking a while to get back to you. Some respond within 24 hours. While that turnaround time is great, it often means they're passing, which isn't so great, right? So my advice is to be patient. Keep working on your other project or projects in the meantime. Don't stress about what is happening or not happening with the publisher. Now, I'll quickly talk about the 5 publishing houses, the big ones, which means you'll likely need an agent who acts as a gatekeeper for the acquisition editors. If the publisher is a big traditional 5 publisher, meaning Penguin, Random House, Hachette Book Group, HarperCollins, Simon & Schuster, or Macmillan, you'll need a literary agent. We have another video where you can learn what a literary agent is, what they do, and what they don't do, so check it out. Some of you watching will believe that you won't need an agent, and that's possible. There are examples of writers who didn't need an agent to get their books published. But there are exceptions, like anything else in writing and publishing. Most acquisition editors at publishing houses won't read anything unless it's been vetted by an agent. Yes, there are slush piles, which you've heard of, but you want the best opportunity to get your work in front of an editor, and agents are your ticket for that. Indie publishers are another way to go. They aren't the big boys, and you don't necessarily need agents for most of them, though having an agent always helps. Indies often hold contests and pay the winners of those contests, which likely include publishing your book. Indie publishers get referrals as well as general submissions, and they may also find their writers from work writers get published in journals. So the field is wide open on that front. Independent publishers do pretty much the same thing as the big 5 publishers, but their budgets are smaller. They'll create the cover design of your book, edit it, etc. And they'll get you an ISBN or International Standard Book number, as well as get your book into bookstores. I know a lot of writers who've been published by indies, including myself. There are pros and cons to these, right? Mostly you'll have to do your own marketing and hustle, but you'll have to do a lot of that for the bigs as well. So take that for what it's worth. There's a couple more ways to get your book published, namely vanity publishing and self-publishing. I won't get into too much of it, but vanity publishing is where you pay someone to print your book or publish your book, which may include everything you need to get a finished product, meaning editing, cover designs, formatting, printing, and potentially even marketing. But again, you pay for that service, and your experience may not always be a great one. Self-publishing is another way to get your book published. Self-publishing means you're doing everything on your own. There are a number of platforms out there for that, most notably Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. You'll have to do all the work yourself, but even with the learning curve, it won't be that difficult. I'd recommend getting an editor and a proofreader, as I see a lot of self-published books with tons of errors and just bad writing altogether. But there are plenty of well-written books that have been self-published. So I'm not trying to denigrate self-publishing, just giving you a warning. Be as professional as you can if you're going to self-publish. Again, you'll have to weigh the pros and cons of self-publishing versus trying to get published traditionally or by using a vanity publishing house. You'll also need to consider your reputation as a writer. If you self-publish or have a vanity publisher publish your work, and your work doesn't sell a ton of books, literary agents and acquisition editors may balk at considering publishing you because your sales weren't great and your name is already out there. There are other factors to take into consideration, but I won't get into that right now. Now, if you write a fantastic book and they love it, it may not matter. Again, these are all things to consider before giving up or bashing the publishing industry because you're not having the luck you'd expected. My advice is to learn how to write, revise, and polish your manuscript for as long as it's necessary to complete the best book you can write. Join writing groups so you can get feedback, read craft books, take classes. Building a writing community around you can only help. Remember, you'll often only have one opportunity to submit your novel to a literary agent or acquisitions editor. You'll want to make sure you have all your I's dotted and your T's are crossed. Good luck. For NovelMasterclass.com, I'm Cully Perlman. And please like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks and happy writing.